Hello, welcome to the compound, coming at you strong tonight. We're going to be talking about
a heavy hitting topic.
Very serious topic. It's going to be an open-minded discussion.
Maybe even slightly a debate, because we do have different viewpoints.
Maybe a debate. There's going to be some debate involved, probably.
There's going to be at least point counterpoint. If not a full-on debate, point counterpoint discussion. It is religion. Well, let's not even do topics. Let's just get into this discussion. Because where did we leave off?
Okay.
Prayer.
It's prayer. Exactly.
Well, here.
And
reiterate as much as you can remember of that.
Of forgiveness?
Yeah. Because forgiveness does fall under, especially Christianity.
Yes.
Forgiveness is a big thing on Christianity.
But there's aspects of forgiveness that could be applied towards everyday life that could help you overcome odds that are defeating you.
Make you stronger in the end.
Yeah, exactly. And forgiveness helps you find security through guilt. Like when you're feeling guilt, forgiveness is a good option. Not only forgiving others, but forgiving yourself for what you've done. I mean, you could blame anybody you want in your life, but ultimately you were the one who was putting yourself in those positions in the first place. So what it comes down to is being there, going through the hard time, dealing with the stress, dealing with the pressure, dealing with the guilt of betrayal, of insecurities, of whatever negative thing that's happening in your life. You can change it. And forgiveness is just one thing that can help you do that. And Christianity is formed a lot of forgiveness, redemption. And
honestly, forgiveness is an awesome way I can't say awesome, but it is a very good way to help move forward in life, instead of just dwelling in the past. It's actually one of the most key points to moving forward in life. You can't be dwelling in the past for anything. And that is definitely, I'm not Christian, but I do have Christian beliefs. As in, I do believe there is a God, I do believe there is Satan, but I don't believe in the Catholic Satan. I do believe that, just out of pure, this is what my brain believes, I do believe that Satan, well, I'll call him, as we call him, Lucifer, the fallen angel Lucifer, and I believe him and God actually work together, because, they even say it in the Bible that Satan, he essentially punishes the wicked in hell and tortures them for all of eternity, depending on their the severity of their sins. Reminder: don't drink Barks Rose before a podcast. But and in that is why would God be so against a person who is punishing people that he sees who are wicked? But that it's just something that strikes me in my brain. That doesn't make sense all too much, but I believe more in the morals of Christianity than the book itself, because the book has been translated, and I guarantee at some point during the way people have changed it, and that's not good. But I believe the moral, the stories of the Bible where they teach you good morals and being kind and being generous and love thy neighbor, those are good things to put forward. Those are good morals to put forward. Everything put forward. Me personally, I don't believe God is listening anymore. After everything that, we squandered this planet and then we ask him for more. He gave us enough to last centuries, millennia, He gave us enough of everything, and we have people on this planet who will take more and more and more, but way past how much they actually need. And then they'll sell it to people who aren't doing so well off because they want more than what they have. And it's...
You're right.
And then we constantly ask him for more and more.
You're right. You're right in the aspect of these people who... Let's just call it greed. It's not everybody. It's
the greedy.
A percentage.
Yes.
It's greedy.
Albeit a small percentage. And they are controlling it for the most part. And
like they want to have a ton of money and all this, more money than they can ever dream of spending in a lifetime or investing in.
But then you also have these people who have no money, but who won't put themselves out there to work for that money.
But I do believe God is still there for the people who cling on to Him and who acknowledge that He's there and acknowledge that He cares. And it all depends on how you interpret the book. I mean, you really got to read the book to make a fair judgment of your own decision. And you probably have read the book, but like there are many aspects of the book that is misinterpreted, and a lot of people, just like the Quran and what happens with Islam. Okay, I hold no grudge towards Islam. I hold no grudge towards Muslims. I accept people for who they are and what they believe. There is always going to be those certain individuals that just make a bad name for the entire group, and we should never blame one entire group or ethnicity or culture or religion based on one person's actions.
Oh hell no, we shouldn't.
No way, because people misinterpret.
Shouldn't judge any group of people by one person's actions.
That's the problem that we're having today in our society.
Entire groups get blamed for bad shit because of one person fucking up.
Everybody's so politically correct that they
don't want to hear the truth.
They take shit out of context, and they don't want to. They just beat around the bush, kind of thing. It's not. It's like a lesser truth, or like not a truth not fully discussed.
Or understood
even. But that, not even 500, 600 years ago, the Vatican and the Catholic Church were slaughtering thousands of people in the name of Christ.
Well, Crusades.
And I'm a Christian.
Crusades is a big one of those.
And I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not afraid to say that.
You shouldn't be afraid to say what your religion is. That's why I'm not afraid to say what my religion is.
Because it wasn't just what happened to Christianity. It also happened with Islam. It also happened with other religions, like Satanism, for instance. Okay, proud. Satanism is a misunderstood religion.
It's our extremists that give us that bad name. Every group in the world has their extremists.
Yes.
Christians have their extremists, and they're called the Westboro Baptist Church. Those are definitely horrible people. They should not be fucking looked up to in any way. Those are intolerant, worthless pieces of garbage. But that's my opinion, and it's pretty much the opinion of most other people too.
But not a lot of people know the truth about Satanism, so we're going to enlighten the public. I mean, I've studied many different religions. I'm not saying I've followed all these religions I've studied, but
it's good to learn about everything, so you're well informed.
I follow Christianity. That's my religion.
And see, look at this.
I accept people for who they are. I'm open to. Look, this is my buddy.
Proud Satanist.
He's a Satanist, and I'm a Christian, and we're friends. We've been friends for a while.
But it doesn't change the fact that we're hardworking fucking people. We try to stay as true to ourselves as humanly possible.
And we can relate to each other's experiences.
Yeah, we've both been through hell. Definitely different kinds of hell.
Everybody has had a struggle in their life, but there's somebody else that's...
But we don't judge each other on our own personal struggles, because I'm not going to sit here and say what I went through was worse than what he went through, or what he went through was worse than...
Exactly.
And I'm never going to talk down about what he went through, because...
And I know that. And not a lot of people understand Satanism. So the basis of Satanism is
it's about the individual.
It's about the individual.
It's not about worshiping the devil.
It's thinking outside the box.
That's what Catholics.
They revere animals,
and children.
All animals and children. Okay.
It's like a mortal sin for us to harm any child or animal.
Yes.
So anything you hear about child or animal sacrifices is not a true Satanist. They are extremists. They are what I call Satan worshippers, the ones who actually pray to the devil himself. And yes, our Satanism does come with ceremony, because with any good religion there should be ceremony. It should be celebrated. Like, I'm sure you celebrate your Christianity in your own certain way.
And everybody does who follows a religion.
Exactly, and some people it is going to church. And honestly, there are parts of organized religion that I absolutely loathe. Like, it's deplorable. Like, what was that Joel Osteen has this big old fucking massive house while his poor congregation come and donate money to him. It's like you're donating this money to God, and they take the collections for themselves instead of handing it out like they're supposed to with it.
There's a lot of people that make bad names
for Christianity. It doesn't mean all Christians are bad. In fact, most Christians I've ever met are some of the kindest people in the world.
I'm sure he's a good guy. I'm not taking anything away from him.
No, I'm not going to take anything away from Joel. He seems like he's a genuinely nice guy, but he's greedy.
It just doesn't make sense to do something like that.
With donation plates, you're supposed to collect them, and at the end of the month you go out and hand them out to the less fortunate. That's what it's meant for. That's what the donation plates are for. It's not for the priests and the pastors, but it's not for them to get themselves rich. And that's why organized religion has become one of the most, unfortunately, deplorable things I've ever seen. Especially down in the South Valley, there are small churches, pretty much just rented out of houses, and it's for people to come and share their faith and pray together and be happy. And I absolutely love seeing that. I have no issues with people having faith and being happy, because faith is an awesome thing to have. My issue is when people try to force their opinions on you and try to convert you. Like, what I was taught as a Satanist was you're not supposed to force your opinions on anybody. And if they want to hear it, you tell them about it and don't try to convert them. If they want to convert, they'll convert by themselves. You don't need to force anyone to do anything. In fact, I have this. It's my own theory. I'll call it my own. It's honestly, I straight up believe that personally that every God is the same for everybody. It's just said by a different name. Everyone that everyone calls God is, or Allah, or who was it for? It was Moses for the Jews, wasn't it? If I'm offending someone, I am horribly sorry. I'm just not well versed on Judaism.
Hebrews believe that there is a God.
But they don't believe.
They actually wrote the original text for Christianity.
Yeah, the Old Testament, that's what they go off of.
Jesus was a Jew. Moses was a Jew.
I'm more familiar with the New Testament, but I know a little bit especially from cartoons.
I think Noah was like.
I mean, I've picked up bits and pieces here and there, but I'm not too well versed on Judaism. Just more just the stories that you always hear, like Noah and Moses and those ones. Even the stories of Jesus, he was raised Jewish. He was Jewish when he died.
The Jews will always be prosecuted. That's why America. This is what a lot of Christians believe. That the Jews will always be prosecuted. Something on those lines. I'm not quoting it directly, okay? But I think that's why America has been blessed and kind of protected as well. And I mean, a lot of Christians think that as well.
A lot of Christians also think that this is
America
a Christian
backs up
state.
Israel, and America protects Israel, and
they think that they're backing the Jews, we back them because
it's good.
They're being prosecuted. They're being persecuted out there.
They've been prosecuted.
They haven't been taken to court. They've been persecuted.
You know what I mean? They've been persecuted longer than African Americans or like black people. They've been persecuted far longer than any race on this planet. Probably.
The Irish had it bad for a long fucking time. First, they were owned by the English. That lasted for a few hundred years.
The Romans enslaved massive amounts of people, bro.
Fuck, the Egyptians enslaved massive amounts of Jews.
Over 300 years, they were fucking enslaving thousands or millions, probably billions over that time.
At that time, yeah,
that's ridiculous. I don't even know, probably not billions. I'm not sure. Maybe it's like 100 millions, something like that. But
it was, and they split.
The Jews, I mean,
and the English spread the plague back in the day.
They
fucking shoot at dead animals to spread the plague back in.
They need help.
Medieval times.
They need help. You know what I mean? They're in the middle of all of that noise over there, and those guys. A lot of people want them wiped off of the face of the earth.
And a lot of the main reason is because they're Muslim. Or Jewish.
And it's all messed up, man. It's all messed up. I don't know.
Because I don't.
How can we explain something so messed up? We can't necessarily say that all Muslims hate Jews, okay? Because I'm sure there's a lot of Muslims out there that have Jew friends and stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. There's plenty. And it's just you see the few that end up being on fucking camera and fucking doing bad shit. It's not the entire fucking race that's doing this shit. It's not the entire fucking religion that's doing this shit.
The Jews need some protection. They need protection. I mean, they're one of our major allies, and they went through hell.
They're going through hell right now.
In Nazi Germany, and I mean, they went through
millions.
Big time hell in Nazi Germany, dude. And
you either put to work or put to death.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even imagine how horrible all that was. I mean, think of Auschwitz alone. Oh my God. What was it? About 1.5 million Jews came through there?
I don't know if it was like a 60, maybe a 70% attrition rate. Some crazy number like that.
And all because of their religion. Or their sexual orientation. Remember, even the gays got fucking persecuted there too.
Or even their color.
Yeah, or even their color.
Or if you're a fucking traitor to, the Führer or whatever, the leader.
If you're a traitor to Hitler, then
either you're fucking getting, well, you won't be. You probably get thrown into a concentration camp.
And then decide whether to work you or fucking gas you.
Yeah.
Unless if you're otherwise.
Unless you survive. I mean, if you survive.
And I mean, like, I have made plenty of fucking...
It was brutal, man.
Racist jokes on my channel, but this is fucking serious. Like, I will fucking talk shit, but in all seriousness, I have a very live and let live attitude towards people.
Yeah, and a lot of comedians are like that too.
Yeah, they'll
people laugh at those jokes, so it's it shouldn't be taken too seriously.
All it's doing is making light of a bad situation, which is something that, as human beings, we need to do every once in a while. Or else you get this fucking stick up your ass and decide to try to sue everybody because they have opinions. That's not right. And even worse, because people have beliefs. They have beliefs that help them get by every day. I mean, I know some people that religion's all they have. And that's the thing that keeps them going every day. Is that there's a better purpose for it. And I'm not even trashing atheists. Because atheists have every right to not believe anything. We have freedom of religion for a goddamn reason, people.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it's a choice. It's a choice. It's definitely a choice. And
it's a personal choice. You shouldn't trash someone because they have a personal belief.
Educate yourself.
Exactly. Don't sit there and pretend you know about something that is just opinion and not fact. Yeah. If you don't look it up, it's just your opinion.
Anyways,
religion's impact on society, which will be the next one attached to this one at some point, whenever we decide we're ready for it, because these podcasts specifically, the hard-hitting ones, are a lot harder to record because they go in depth and they are talking about something that affects all of us to a certain extent. And religion's definitely one of those things, since religion's something that everyone has an opinion on, but not everyone has. Not everyone technically has a religion. Atheism technically isn't a religion, because a religion means that you're worshiping something.
Or agnostic, I don't even know.
Agnostic acknowledges that they believe that in a higher power, they just don't know what's out there. It's pretty much, I don't know what's out there. That's pretty much what agnostic is. I'm not...
It's more based on skepticism, in my opinion. Agnostic...
Or just ignorance. And I don't mean like, oh, you're willfully ignorant, you're ignoring... No, it's more ignorance on the fact of, I don't know what's out there. They have to see something before they'll believe it, and I can understand that to a certain extent, but they're not the signs from God that people want to see. I think they're looking more for something physical to appear for belief, when more it's something that, when it comes in the form of something that you need. Hey guys, just another podcast that has gone a bit too long, so I am splitting it up into 2 parts again. So this will be part A of the religion one, and the next one will be part B of religion. And later on down the road, we will do religion's impact on society. So if you guys like that episode, smash that fucking like button, and as always, live very metal.